Good afternoon, children. Once again, we are back for our English class. I hope you might have gone through last week's class well and might have done your assignments, isn't it? Okay, last class we have revised the first part of the lesson, Fun They Had. It is the name of the writer. He is Isaac Asimov. And we have seen that the things which was visualized by Isaac Asimov has somehow came into reality, isn't it? And let's have a quick review about the last class. What are the things that we have discussed in the last class is regarding the difference between a real teacher and a mechanical teacher. Who is a real teacher? So I told you, a person like me, where you can mingle each other. And what about a mechanical teacher? That may be a robotic teacher or a computer program teacher, isn't it? And also we discussed about the schools of future, like what we have seen in the last class, talking about the future schools, like students may be learning through computers, virtual classrooms, robotic teacher, dealing with e-text, etc., isn't it? And also in future, homeschooling. That is another thing that we can see about the future schools, isn't it? Then we said that the story is set in future. That is in the year 2157. That is 137 years from now. We have not reached to that year. We need to wait for 137 years more, isn't it? So anyhow, what is going to happen in future was predicted by the writer Isaac Asimov. And coming to the main characters of the story. Who are the main characters of the story? The main character is Margie, isn't it? She is a girl of 11. And the second person is Tommy. He is a boy of 13 who are neighbors or friends. We doesn't know whether they are neighbors or friends, but still then we can assume likewise, because it was not very clearly said. They are going each other's house, discussing things. So definitely this Margie and Tommy may be neighbors or friends, isn't it? Then just go through the summary of the last class. We have seen that the text opens with Margie writing a diary on which date? On 17th May 2157, isn't it? And that's the date that she writes on her diary. And what is it she has written in her diary? The most amazing thing that she found is, today Tommy found a real book. Talking about what? A real book, isn't it? And here we see that maybe this is the first time that she witnessed a real book. That too was given by whom? Given by Tommy, isn't it? And after seeing this book, they find it so funny that the words doesn't move. From this we learned that they might be learning their things through what? Through e-book and not from a printed book. That is the difference that she finds in an e-book as well as in a printed book. Anyhow, she had heard about printed books. From whom? From her grandpa. Because, do you remember that last class we have seen that her grandpa is the person who introduced printed books to Margie, telling that grandpa's grandpa learned things through where? Through real books, isn't it? In those years, they learned things from real books. So this was something that we discussed last class. Don't forget that Margie was writing a diary the year 2157, that Tommy showed a real book, and the funny thing is that the words doesn't move, isn't it? Words doesn't move. And she heard about book from her grandpa, telling that grandpa's grandpa learned things from real book. Okay, so that's what we discussed in the last class. Now coming towards today's portion, I think today we can discuss paragraph 4 to 12. Okay, even though it's 4 to 12, but we are dealing only with the minor portion. Okay, so first of all, I read the paragraph. Here I have written the paragraph for you. If you don't have textbook, just see this. Okay, paragraph 4, read like this. And then when they turned back to the page before, it had the same words on it that it had when they read it for the first time. Okay, so what we see here is, last class we have seen that when they turn the pages, the yellow cringy pages and all, we have seen that the pages are very old because it's a long time back. It's already it's an old book, so deformities will be there. Then the paper is so thin, so anyhow the color of the book also faded and it has got a tint yellow color and everything we have seen. Now in this paragraph it was very clearly said that the thing is that the same words on it that it had when they read it for the first time. That means it was not moving. Okay, this seems to be a strange experience for the kids with the real book, that the words doesn't move. And as I told you earlier, this is the first time that she is seeing a real book. She heard about a real book from her grandpa, but she had never seen a book before. Okay, and this is the first time that she sees a book. And we already say that the book was printed on paper, and the funny thing is that words doesn't move, the word sticks, and that is immovable. Okay, and this is how they realize the difference between a e-book and a real book. In e-book, what happens? The text keep on changing as they read, isn't it? But the screen remains the same. The screen will not move. Only what will move? The text or the writings will move on. It will go up and down. It will not remain the same. But what about a real book? If you open a real book, words will not automatically go up and down. You need to change the paper. You need to open the paper, isn't it? But here, for Margie as well as for Tommy, this is a strange experience that they have seen or they experience. What is that? In real book, words doesn't move. Text doesn't move. But in an e-book, what happened? The text keep on changing. Okay? And where the screen remains the same, but the text moves or it keeps on changing in a e-book. But in a printed book, what is the difference? On the paper, words stick, and that is immovable. That was given in paragraph 4. Is it clear? Okay, I think there is no much difficulty in the words or any meanings that is very difficult for you to understand. Then coming to paragraph 5. Okay, shall we move on? Okay, paragraph 5 says, "Gee," said Tommy, "what a waste when you are through with the e-book. You just throw it away, I guess. Our television screen must have had 1,000,000 books on it, and it's good for plenty more. I wouldn't throw it away." Now, this paragraph talks about the opinion of Tommy related to what? Related to real book. What is that? He says that it's a waste of time to go through and read what? The real book. Why it said so? Because in a real book, what happened? There is only one specific theme or idea is conveyed. That means if it is a storybook, after reading the story, you won't get another story in that book. After reading a story, you have to keep the book aside or that becomes useless. That's why he says that what a waste. Because unlike ebook, text will not keep on changing. Words will not keep on changing, just like what you see in a screen or television screen or in a computer screen. In books, it's already printed and you can't replace anything, isn't it? After reading a whole book, you have to keep the book aside. It's for no good. That's why Tommy says that our television screen must have had 1,000,000 books on it and it's good for plenty more. Says that there is no need for us. Why you are just looking at this real book in our computer book or in our television screen? Television screen means the screen where they are reading e-book. Okay, the television screen, when they scroll, they'll get a lot millions of book. Isn't it? There is no need for them to keep the book aside. The text, as the text keep on changing, you will get new books, you will get new stories, you will get new ideas, new things to learn. So there is no need for me to throw it away. We can keep our computer for any longer time. After reading it, again you will get a new thing. But the difference is that in a real book, you can't keep this book forever. Maybe just for remembrance you can keep it, but you can't use it again. So that is why Tommy says that reading a real book or having a real book is a waste. Says that the opinion about the book, Tommy disliked the real book because after reading the book, it's of no use. The second one is, same story is repeated is seen and no different story can be seen there, isn't it? But in computer, the screen is the same, but different story can be read, then different things can be read, different books will be available on e-books, and there is no need for you to throw the computer after reading one particular book or one particular story, as it contains million books. You will get new knowledge from computer with regard to different books. Okay, now coming to paragraph 6 to 12, I have given 6 to 12 all together because it's very simple paragraphs. Okay, now Margie says, same with mine, said Margie. She was 11 and she haven't seen as many style books as Tommy had. Telebooks maybe, okay, as Tommy had. He was 13. Now one of the main difference why this Margie is supporting Tommy is because she is younger to whom? She is younger to Tommy. And what is the age of Tommy? Tommy is 13. And what is the age of Margie? She is 11. So difference is there, isn't it? So anyhow, Tommy says that I have read many books in my television computer or my television screen. But Margie says that maybe you are right. So for me also, I also agree with you. And she hasn't read so many books like Tommy had read. And she said, she's asking, where did you find it? What that? Find what? Find what? Find the real book. Okay, now here she's asking, okay Tommy, let me ask you one thing. From where did you got this real book? And now Tommy says that in my house, he pointed without looking because he was busy reading in the attic. Okay, now he says that when Margie asked him from where did you get it, Tommy says that, I got it from my attic. Where is that attic? What is that attic? It's just a space just below the roof used as storeroom. You might have seen, isn't it? In Malayalam words, sometimes we say mach. You might have heard about that, isn't it? In ancient house or older houses, you can see that mach is there. Okay, mach means this attic. Okay, or any space where you can put all the things. So Tommy, without looking at Margie, he says that I got it from my attic. Why he is not looking at Margie? Because he was very busy reading the book. Even though he doesn't like real book, but he was just going through the pages. He was just turning the pages and see what it is written in the book. Okay. Now, Margie is asking, what's it about? Okay. Now she is very curious to know about real book. And she is asking, what is this book is all about? And he says that it's all about what? School. Okay? About school. A description of school is given in this real book. Okay? So, this is what you can see in this lines. And Margie was scornful. Scornful means what? She doesn't like when she heard the word school. Why? Maybe she is a lazy fellow, isn't it? And she may not like to go to school, or maybe she doesn't like to sit in front of the television screen for learning. Okay, school. What's there to write about? I hate school. Okay, again she is telling that. Margie was scornful. Okay, school. What's there to write about it? I hate school. Now she is specifically pointing out that she hates school. She doesn't like school. So from this 6 to 11 paragraphs, we have seen that Margie is agreeing with Tommy for disliking the book. What is the reason? Because she has not seen as many telebooks as Tommy had seen, and we had seen that she is 2 years younger to Tommy. What was the age of Margie? She is 11. And what is the age of Tommy? He is 13, isn't it? So, yeah, that is one of the reason why she also agrees with Tommy for disliking the books. Tommy already said that after reading the book, you need to throw it away. Okay. Then, another thing is that we can see that Tommy said that he got the book from his attic, isn't it? And as he was reading the book, he could see that the book contains a story of a school. What is that? About going to school, the life of a school. Okay, these two things were given in the book. And when Margie came to know that the book contains something about school, she doesn't want it to hear about because she hates school. Now coming to the last paragraph, you see that Margie had always hated school, but now she hated it more than ever. The mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for the county inspector. Now the reason for hatred towards the school was said here. What is that? Already we have seen that she is having a mechanical teacher. And as I told you that the difference between a mechanical teacher and a real teacher, mechanical teacher can't understand the feeling of a child. Now what was it? As Margie is in a virtual classroom or in front of a computer screen for her lessons, not like a real school, here the machine will be teaching the children as well as giving her what? Many test papers, especially in which subject? In geography. And she find it very difficult to answer the questions given by the computer screen. And what happened? She'll get what? Very less mark. And that naturally irritated whom? Irritated the mother. And definitely you know that mothers are very angry when children gets less marks. And what she did? She had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for the county inspector. So at last, she wanted to know the real reason behind it. And as the lesson marks was seen in geography test paper again and again, she wanted to check whether there is any complaint with the computer screen or with the machine. For that, mother thought that she wanted to send for the county inspector. County inspector means a person who comes to check on the machine or this computer machine. So, this is what paragraph 12 says about. She says that she doesn't like the school because a mechanical teacher gives many tests in geography that she finds it very difficult to answer, and the mother was feeling so irritated or arrogant or angry for getting lesser marks. And finally, she thought of finding the real reason behind getting this lesser marks, and she thought that this may be because some problems with the machine. So she thought of calling the county inspector or the person to inspect the machine. So this is what we are going to deal with, or we are just revise this day. School students should go through this text once again and try to find out what we have revised in this. Okay, I hope you understood the lesson. Go through the lessons once again. For more lessons, subscribe my channel English Orchard. Thank you all.